Today is Monday and we're doing another mock draft coming right up. And what is up, everyone? Welcome to the Gridiron Fantasy Football podcast for Monday, August 16th, 2021. And I'm Chip, I'm your host, and thank you so much for listening today. If you're a new listener, thank you so much for joining us as well. If you'd like to share our podcast, you can find us over on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and also we're on Pandora right now, so that's also another avenue you can hear our podcast. If you'd like to watch us, you can watch us over on YouTube at Gridiron Fantasy Football, so please do me a favor, hit subscribe and support the show so you don't miss any more episodes this off-season. And today, upon request, we're going to do another mock draft. And one of the listeners reached out and asked me for a mock draft to do a standard mock draft in the standard format with 12 teams and drafting from the 12th position. They were wondering what I could come up with as a team, in the 12th position from a standard draft standpoint. So we're gonna do that today. But before we do that, I'm gonna talk about my draft. So I was in Florida and Orlando last week for my main league that I won the championship in. And if you are watching on YouTube, you can see behind me that I have my new trophy right here underneath the Alvin Kamara helmet. It is my shoe case. I'm a sneakerhead. If you probably have no idea I was a sneakerhead because no one asked me, but the commissioner and I are a massive sneakerhead duo, and we love Jordans, and I grew up in the Jordan era. So my trophy this year was Retro 11 Breads. Love the shoe, and that is my trophy. That will sit there in that case forever. It was a big feat to go undefeated in my main league, and I was able to do it, and that was the reward. I was able to get myself a brand new pair of Retro 11 Breads that I will never wear. But it looks good in the background. If you like to see it, check us out on YouTube. So, but going to my draft, I was, just like every draft, I try to go and do a running back heavy draft. We do an auction league, a 2-quarterback league, and I really try to stay with the top three, or not top three, but I used to get at least 2 top 5 running backs, if not 2 top 10 running backs, and then my hunch on another third running back for my flex. This year, unfortunately, I landed some players I was not expecting to land, and it got me in some trouble and a bind. So, I'm a big Alvin Kamara fan, and I try to draft him every year. I've had him ever since he was a rookie. Had him last year. Had Dalvin Cook last year. Had Miles Sanders. I picked up James Robinson. But this year, the draft went a little differently for me because generally what I do is my strategy is to pick top, 2 top running backs and then a top wide receiver. And then I try to find like a tier 2 running back and then some tier 2 receivers. And I really spend a lot of my money on those 3 main guys. But I usually go after like hunches on quarterback and all that. But this year it completely happened in a different way for me. So what had happened was quarterbacks go for a hefty price in our league. And generally the top like 1 to 3 guys will go for big money. This year Patrick Mahomes went for like $80-something. I can't remember, it was like $83. And then I had Josh Allen as the number 2 quarterback on my rankings, and we were bidding on him, and the bidding stopped at $46, and I said $47, and thinking that it was going to be a long time before he was sold, and I got him for $47. And I never do that in drafts. I never go for big quarterbacks, but it was such a huge value. I got Josh Allen, so Josh Allen was my number 1 pick from the auction league. And then after that, I was able to get Dalvin Cook for what our costs are in our league for a value. And so I was sitting pretty with Josh Allen and Dalvin Cook. And this is where things got a little out of hand for me. Stephon Diggs came on the board, and Devontae Adams went first, and he went for pretty high money. And so I know that Tyreek Hill was the number 2 guy in my rankings, thinking that he would go more than Stephon Diggs went. But unfortunately, I got in this idea of having a Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs stack right there during the draft. So I ended up drafting Stephon Diggs for $49. And then Tyreek Hill who I really wanted, went for $48. So I spent $1 more for Stephon Diggs, and he was the second most expensive wide receiver in our draft. And then after that, I was pretty out of the draft for that point on. I had what I thought was a $41 max bid, because we do a $200 budget, and I actually had that mistaken. I was bidding on Austin Eckler, and the bid came to be $29. I was unable to bid. I thought there was a glitch. And then didn't realize that I had it on my total money left rather than max bid. And so we usually never do an ESPN format. We generally do, we have a live auctioneer, and we do everything based on our own computers and spreadsheets. But we had some guys who couldn't make it to the draft, so we had to do it online. And that's what kind of messed me up. But this is my final roster. You let me know. Leave a comment below on YouTube if you feel like this is a pretty decent squad. But we play in a 2-quarterback league. We got our starting lineup is 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and a defense, no kicker. And then we have 7 bench spots. So my quarterbacks, I have Josh Allen, Zach Wilson. I actually really like Zach Wilson this year. I picked up Mac Jones. I like Mac Jones not for an instant starter, but to have him when Cam Newton gets benched. And I have Drew Lock. So the reason why I have 4 quarterbacks is because we play a 2-quarterback league. We all hoard quarterbacks. We have one guy in our league who drafted 6 quarterbacks. So that's a little too much. But this is, you need to be ready for failure and ready for some type of injury and bye weeks and all that stuff. So having 4 quarterbacks on a team of this size in a 2-quarterback league is not it's not uncommon. My running backs, I have Dalvin Cook, Darrell Henderson, Myles Gaskin, Michael Carter, and Javonte Williams. Those are my running backs. I really liked Michael Carter and Javonte Williams this year as my sleeper rookie running backs. Darrell Henderson, I'm big on him now because of Cam Akers not being available due to injury. So I think in that offense, Darrell Henderson has the potential to be a really good fantasy back. And then Myles Gaskin, I think he had a really good second half of the season last year. And honestly, I think that he had a chance to do very well this year. But seeing the first preseason game this weekend and Malcolm Brown being the starter and Myles Gaskin getting less touches than him, made me a little concerned. But it is preseason. You can't really, go based on that. There's going to be a lot of vanilla things that happen in the offseason or in the preseason. And you just can't really go based on that. But it does hurt his value for people who have drafts from here on out. My wide receivers, like I mentioned, I got Stephon Diggs, Kenny Golladay, which is funny because I'm not a Kenny Golladay fan, but I got him for like $3. So starting wide receiver for the Giants, and hopefully he stays healthy. Courtland Sutton I got for $1, starter for the Broncos. I got then I got, he's my third wide receiver. Then I got DJ Chark. Then I got I drafted Antonio Brown. I think out of the Bucs wide receivers, I think that Antonio Brown, based on the things I'm hearing from camp, that Antonio Brown, value-wise, I think is a better value than Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. I would love to have both of them, but I think from getting him for $1, Antonio Brown I think will bring a lot of value there. And then I actually drafted Rashad Bateman, but he got injured and he's having surgery, so I dropped him and picked up Michael Pittman. So those are my wide receivers. And then at tight end, I got Noah Fant. I really wanted Kyle Pitts, but he went a little too expensive at that point of the draft. So I picked up Noah Fant. I like Noah Fant, and I didn't realize I have 4 Broncos on my team with Drew Lock, Javonte Williams, Noah Fant, and Courtland Sutton. So I hope the Broncos, if they look like they did the other night with Drew Lock throwing 2 touchdowns and 150-something yards, I am be happy with that. But Yeah, so that is, and they got the Rams defense. So that's my team. So let me know what you think about it. I think it's a decent squad. It's not the makeup of the rosters I usually have. I usually go for, running back heavy teams, and then I add like a top 5 wide receiver. Then I sprinkle in some lower tier quarterbacks. But because the Josh Allen thing got away from me, I wasn't expecting to get him for $47. I was just trying to bid people up. I apparently had a reaction that made everyone laugh. I don't remember what my reaction was, but apparently it was notable enough for people to make a comment about it. So that's my team. So that was my first draft of the season. And then I do have my dynasty draft coming up this coming up Saturday. So I'll let you know how that team is filled out, because in that league we keep 11 players. It's more of a keeper league than a dynasty league, but we can keep the players as long as we want. And then we just add rookies and bench spots. So I'll let you know the results of that. So with that being the case, let's jump into the draft. Okay, so let me switch the screen out so you can see the draft board on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. Okay, so like I said, we are doing a 12-team standard league snake draft. So this was because someone requested it. I'm going to do this. And if you have any other requests for type of drafts you would like in the future, please leave a comment under the video so I know which ones you guys are looking for. So let's start the draft and see what happens, okay? So let's see. All right, so the draft started, and Dalvin Cook is number 1 overall with Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Barkley, Henry, Taylor. Adams is the first wide receiver, then Chubb, Elliott, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs. Now it's my turn at the 112. So this is where I can look at what's available. I can look at running back and see, we got Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Antonio Gibson, Joe Mixon. So, I could either go from a wide receiver standpoint. I am really not big on A.J. Brown. I like A.J. Brown a lot. I like DeAndre Hopkins. A lot of these receivers are good. But it's a standard league. What I may do here, I really like Aaron Jones. I really like Austin Eckler, but I just don't like Austin Eckler in a standard league like I do in the PPR format. So what I'll do here is look at what we got at wide receiver. I could go Travis Kelce if I really wanted to do that, to get one of the top tight ends off the board. But let's see here. I want to get a top running back because I know from the turnaround I have a lot of picks in between. So let me grab at least a top running back here with Aaron Jones, and then here I think I'm going to do wide receiver. So I honestly like in this format. Oh man, I like DeAndre Hopkins and I like Calvin Ridley. It's between those two. If I had a choice between AJ Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Metcalf, Ridley, and Justin Jefferson, man, that is tough. Man, let's see. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go with D. Hopkins here. I'm going to go him over Ridley and A.J. Brown, Metcalf. So let's see what happens. My third round pick, we're going to go with whoever's best available in the running back or wide receiver spot. My guess is there's going to be a good wide receiver there, or maybe hopefully Waller will be there. Let's see. So far so good. Okay, so I don't think Waller got drafted. Let me check. He did not. So this is really good for me. So running back wise, I have my options. Got Josh Jacobs, Darrell Henderson. Wide receiver, I got Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Robert Woods, DJ Moore, Kenny Galladay. At tight end, there's Darren Waller there. So I'm going to take Darren Waller right off the bat. So I got a top tight end, a top running back, and a top wide receiver with my first 3 picks. And now looking at running back and wide receiver, I'm not really going to look at anything at wide receiver. I feel like the depth there is really good, just because I got DeAndre Hopkins too. So running back wise, we got Josh Jacobs, Darrell Henderson, Kareem Hunt, Myles Gaskin, Melvin Gordon. So I'm not going after Melvin Gordon because I like Javonte Williams a lot more. And I don't think he got drafted yet. I don't see him off the board yet. But I like, at this standpoint, I think going with Josh Jacobs here makes the most sense based on best player available. I could go after Mike Evans, but I feel like running back wise, I'd rather grab him over Mike Evans. So I'm taking Josh Jacobs here. and let's see what happens. So Mike Evans went right after me, and then we got Woods, Moore, Johnson. Deontay Johnson went. Then you got Amari Cooper, Galladay, CeeDee Lamb. All right, and then when it comes to quarterback, I'm going to wait to the very late rounds. Maybe I'll probably grab a quarterback maybe in the next 3 or 4 rounds, depending on how the draft falls. But now let's see. Now it's my turn again at the 5-12. Running back wise, really not a lot of good options. Wide receiver wise, there's some pretty decent guys here. Like, I like Brandon Ayuk a lot this year. I think he's going to be a breakout star this year. You got Odell Beckham. It's just very questionable based on how he was last year, and he's kind of going on a decline. I think that based on what we've seen fantasy-wise due to injury and just switching teams, he's just not the OBJ that we know. But I'm going to go with, and then we look at quarterbacks. So this is kind of where you have to look and see. I mean, there's a lot of good quarterbacks left, so I'm not really worried about that right now. I'm gonna go Brandon Ayuk over OBJ and T Higgins and see. And now I got back-to-back picks, so let's see. In the 6-1, I mean, I could grab a quarterback here, get Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. What's down here for wide receivers? Yeah, I'm not really. There's a couple good names, but there's a couple good names here. Let's see, running back wise, where's Mike Davis at? He's available. See, and right now at running back, there's Raheem Mostert, Ronald Jones, David Johnson, Damian Harris, Leonard Fournette, Zach Moss, Kenny Drake, Mike Davis. Out of all these guys, I'd rather have Mike Davis. I think Mike Davis is the clear-cut starter for the Falcons. All these other guys have timeshares. I mean, Mostert got Trey Sermon now. Ronald Jones got Fournette. David Johnson's on a decline, and there's Philip Lindsay, and there's Mark Ingram. Damian Harris, I don't like I don't like New England running backs. You got Leonard Fournette, Zach Moss. Devin Singletary had a very good showing this weekend. Kenyon Drake, timeshare Josh Jacobs. So I'm going to pick actually Mike Davis here over any wide receiver. I just don't think Mike Davis will be there on the turnaround after my picks. All right, so Mostert went next, and Aaron Rodgers. We got Prescott that went. Let's see, Juju, Claypool, Sutton, Herbert, Wilson. So that's the risk you take, right? So I didn't go for a quarterback, and then all the top quarterbacks had went. So now it's my turn on the 7-12. I could go after, I think, from a quarterback standpoint, I have back-to-back picks. It doesn't really matter where I take this quarterback. But looking at wide receiver, we got Robbie Anderson, Deebo Samuel, Jarvis Landry, Jamar Chase, Curtis Samuel, Jerry Jeudy. Out of that group, I like Jamar Chase, going pretty young at wide receiver. But I got DeAndre Hopkins, so that helps. Running back standpoint, let's see. Only one that guy would... Yeah, this is standard format, so like guys like J.D. McKissick and all that doesn't really do much for me. Quarterback-wise, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take Tom Brady here at the 7-12. Just because there's not going to be a really good quarterback that I'm going to really trust going forward. Because, Ryan Tannehill, Joe Burrow, Matt Ryan, Stafford, Cousins, Mayfield, Wentz, Jones, all those guys will probably be gone by the time I picked again. Let's see, running back. I could go after Leonard Fournette. I think he's going to be the starter for the Bucs. Wide receiver, Robbie Anderson, Deebo Samuel, Jarvis Landry. So honestly, I like Jamar Chase over all these guys. So what I'm going to do is take my chance on a guy like Jamar Chase for some upside for a Cleveland or from a Cincinnati Bengals standpoint. I think he's going to be the top guy, so I'm picking him there. All right, so then we got some interesting picks. We got James Conner went. I think James Conner went before Chase Edmonds. Let me check. Where's Chase Edmonds at? Where did he get drafted? Yeah, I don't see him. But anyways, oh, there he goes. He got drafted at the 5-6, and then James Conner got drafted at the 8-3. So, a lot of these draft boards are seeing Chase Edmonds' value go up. So that's something you got to do. That's why you do these mock drafts. You got to do these mock drafts to know where ADP is. Like, players are going to fall, and rise through the preseason. You know, a lot of it you can take a little bit from the preseason, but some of it is just, you know, seeing the actual players on the field and seeing how they're being used, and you're going to see a lot of players dropping, you know, and rise through the preseason. All right, so it's my pick at the 9-12. Honestly, for me, it's about picking best player available with high upside. Running back wise, I got Davis, Jacobs, and Jones. You know, honestly, I really like Michael Carter, so I'm going to take Michael Carter here. And then from a wide receiver standpoint, we got Laviska Shenault, Michael Gallup, Devontae Smith, Mike Williams, Marvin Jones, Michael Pittman, Jalen Waddle, Antonio Brown. So I do like DJ Chark, and I like Laviska Shenault. I think those guys are going to be really solid with Trevor Lawrence being as the quarterback. So I'm going to go with Laviska Shenault and see how he does this year and hope for the best. And then we got, you know, Pollard goes, Gallup, Matt Ryan. You got Higbee, Ingram, Smith, or Smith Jr., tight end. Then Stafford, Devontae Smith, Gus Edwards, Jalen Waddle. So now we got what, 4 picks left. So, you know, we got 3 more skill positions in a defense, because you never pick a defense until last pick anyways. Marvin Jones, Antonio Brown. I already got Laviska Shenault. So what I'm going to do is look up, we got running back. Not really a lot of guys that really are worth drafting. So I'm going to go with wide receiver. I'm going to go with Antonio Brown. And then running back, I mean, we got Rashad Penny, Marlon Mack, Tevin Coleman, Carlos Hyde. Now, I could draft Tevin Coleman and have the Jets' backfield locked up, but I don't have enough. I feel like I have enough running backs where I don't have to do that. I mean, I could grab a backup tight end, but that makes no sense. Quarterback, don't need to get another quarterback. I already got 5 wide receivers. I'm like I said, I'm going best player available. I'm gonna go into my eyes. I'm gonna go with. Man, this sucks. I don't like any of these picks. I'm just going with Jalen Reagor. I mean, Marvin Jones is ranked higher than him, but I already have Laviska Shenault, so I really don't want to have too many people from the same team. Even though I have 4 Broncos on my own main league roster, so let's go Denver for being a breakout team this year on offense. All right, so is my last pick now at the 13-12. You know, what I'm going to end up doing is I'll look at the players available, and I'm going to take, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and take Tevin Coleman here just to see what happens in that backfield. And then now it's my turn for a defense. I think the Rams are the best defense fantasy-wise, so I'm going to take the Rams at my last pick and see what happens, you know. But, you know, this is the life of mock drafts. You kind of get sniped sometimes, and there are runs that you're not expecting, and, you know, that's kind of the look of the draw. But that is the draft, and let's look at the team. So at quarterback, I got Tom Brady. Running back, I got Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs with Mike Davis, Michael Carter, and Tevin Coleman as my backups. At wide receiver, I got DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Ayuk, Jamar Chase, Laviska Shenault, Jalen Reagor. And at tight end, I got Darren Waller, and at defense, I got the Los Angeles Rams. So I honestly don't mind this team at all. I think this is a pretty decent team. You know, being in a standard format and picking 12th. You know, sometimes you can't go running back heavy because at the time that you're able to pick, those main guys are off the board. So, you know, if you look at the team that was the first overall pick, they got Dalvin Cook, and then this is their team based on draft order. They got Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, DeAndre Swift, Lamar Jackson, Adam Thielen, Damian Harris, Juju, Kyle Pitts, Nyheim Hines, Jalen Waddle, Jamal Williams, Kmet, the tight end from Chicago, Darius Slayton, and the Chiefs defense. I mean, comparing the two teams, I mean, yeah, I like Lamar Jackson, I like Cook, I like Justin Jefferson. I like my team. I think, he has an upside with Kyle Pitts. I got Darren Waller, who's a known fantasy tight end stud. So I think there's a lot of balance between the teams. I think that, this is what you see. You see some guys who, go in and draft, like this guy here who drafted Patrick Mahomes with his 3rd round pick. This is what his team was. You got Alvin Kamara, George Kittle, Patrick Mahomes, you got CeeDee Lamb, Myles Gaskin, Deontay Johnson, Courtland Sutton, Curtis Samuel, AJ Dillon, Devontae Smith, Mike Williams, Adam Troutman, Henry Ruggs, and the Browns. So his number 1 wide receiver is CeeDee Lamb, which I do think CeeDee Lamb is number 1 wide receiver. He's going to be a freaking stud this year. So I look forward to seeing that. But if you look at what's really the balance, I mean, I got a top tight end. He got the top tight end. He has Patrick Mahomes. He's not, obviously he's a lot better fantasy-wise than Tom Brady, but you got Alvin Kamara. When you take a guy so if he takes Patrick Mahomes at the 3rd round pick, he missed out on a wide receiver 1, but he's hoping that CeeDee Lamb will be that guy. So I like it. So this is what, this is the team that I came up with the 12-team standard snake draft. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment below, and then let me know what other type of formats you want me to do. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, comment, and share the podcast and the YouTube channel. This week I will do my last of the Would You Rather series. I hope you guys have enjoyed that series. I'll be doing a tight end position. That should drop hopefully this week, earlier maybe midweek. I'm still adjusting from being back in town, so I usually drop that on Tuesday. You probably see that more on a Wednesday, Thursday this week. But I'll try to do more mock drafts this week as well, since the drafts are coming up for a lot of fantasy leagues. But if you'd like to follow us on social media, you can find us over on Facebook and Twitter, the Gridiron Pod, and we're on Instagram at Gridiron Fantasy Football. So take care. Hope you enjoyed the draft, and we'll see you on the next episode. Have a good day.